They tell you it's just part of aging, that forgetting things, feeling mentally foggy, or losing focus after 65 is normal, that your only option is another prescription, another pill, another label. But what if they're wrong? Because the truth is, you don't need medication to keep your brain sharp. You need knowledge, you need strategy, you need daily habits that actually work. This video will show you exactly how thousands of people over 65 are boosting memory, sharpening focus, and regaining mental clarity, completely naturally. No meds, no extreme programs, just proven science, made simple. So if you're tired of being told to, just accept it. Stay right here, because by the end of this video, you'll have the exact tools to wake up your brain and take back control. Your mind hasn't left you. It just needs the right environment to shine again. Let's begin. You walk into a room and forget why you came in. You search for a word mid-sentence and it just disappears. You start a task, then get distracted, and forget you even started. It's frustrating, and everywhere you turn, people shrug it off. Their senior moment. It's just what happens at your age. But here's the truth. This mental slowdown isn't always aging, it's environment. Because your brain, even past 65, still has the power to grow, to adapt, to sharpen. It's called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections and repair itself. And that doesn't stop at retirement. It only stops when you stop feeding it. The real reasons you may feel mentally slower include lack of stimulation, poor sleep, nutrient deficiencies, chronic stress, too much isolation, inactivity, inflammatory foods. All of these chip away at your brain's sharpness, not because of your age, but because of what your brain isn't getting. You wouldn't expect a plant to thrive without sunlight or water. So why expect your brain to stay sharp without movement, nutrition, and connection? This means you're not doomed, you're not broken. And you don't need to depend on pills. You just need to change the input, because better input equals better brain output. Let's bust a few lies that have kept millions of smart, capable adults stuck. Myth number 1, mental decline is inevitable after 65. Wrong. While some changes are normal, cognitive decline is not a guarantee. Research proves that many seniors actually improve focus and memory with lifestyle changes. Myth number 2, pills are the only way to preserve memory. Wrong again. Most memory supplements or prescriptions don't fix the root problem. They mask symptoms or deliver short-term effects. But natural habits like movement, nutrition, and sleep hygiene have far more long-term power. Myth number 3, if you're forgetting things, it must be dementia. Nope. Occasional forgetfulness is human. Chronic confusion, that's a red flag. But many people panic too soon, or not soon enough, because they don't know the difference. Myth number 4, it's too late to make changes. Absolutely false. One study found that people in their 70s and 80s who adopted brain-healthy habits actually regrew gray matter in areas responsible for memory and decision-making. Your brain isn't done. It's just waiting for a new signal. Myth number 5, you have to do puzzles or brain games to stay sharp. Helpful, maybe. Necessary, not at all. The brain craves variety, new experiences, physical movement, creativity, and conversation. The danger of these myths, they steal your power. They convince you to do less, expect less, settle for less. But you're not here to settle. You're here to stay sharp, naturally. And the way to do that, start with the 5 natural pillars of brain longevity, which we'll break down next. If you want to stay mentally sharp after 65, without meds, without guesswork, you need to focus on the 5 foundational habits that science shows keep the brain young, active, and resilient. These aren't trends. These are pillars, things you can build a whole new life around, and they work. Let's break them down. 1. Movement. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, triggers the release of brain protective chemicals, and even promotes neurogenesis, the creation of new brain cells. You don't need to run marathons. A 30-minute walk, light yoga, or swimming can be game-changing. 2. Mental challenge. Brains thrive on newness. Learning a new skill, a new language, or even taking a different route on your daily walk forces the brain to form new neural connections, a key in slowing down cognitive aging. 3. Restorative sleep. Deep sleep is when the brain cleans itself. During sleep, harmful proteins like beta amyloid, linked to Alzheimer's, are flushed out. Good sleep literally detoxes the brain. No sleep, That foggy feeling isn't just tiredness, it's your brain in distress. 4. Anti-inflammatory nutrition. Foods either fuel your brain or fog it. Leafy greens, berries, nuts, fatty fish, and olive oil reduce inflammation and feed the brain with antioxidants and omega-3s. Meanwhile, sugar and processed foods accelerate decline. 5. Social connection and purpose. People who stay socially active and feel connected to a bigger why have dramatically lower rates of memory loss. Your brain isn't just wired for information, it's wired for relationship and meaning. When these 5 habits are combined, they act like a shield, protecting your mental clarity from the inside out. You don't need a gym membership, you don't need fancy shoes, or a trainer, or to lift heavy weights. What you need is to move, because movement isn't just for your muscles, it's for your mind. When you walk, stretch, or even garden, your heart pumps more blood to your brain. That blood carries oxygen, nutrients, and critical compounds that protect memory, focus, and emotional balance. Here's what happens in your brain when you move. Neurogenesis. You literally grow new brain cells. BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, is released, a chemical like fertilizer for your brain. Mood-enhancing hormones are triggered, reducing anxiety and depression, which often cloud thinking. Cognitive speed and memory improve, especially in the hippocampus, the memory center of the brain. And here's the kicker. These benefits are most powerful after age 65, because when your brain is underused, movement becomes the wake-up call it's been waiting for. You don't need high-intensity workouts, just 20 to 30 minutes of moderate movement, walking, tai chi, dancing, even cleaning, can drastically improve focus and memory within weeks. Even better, do it outside. Studies show that outdoor walking improves brain activity more than treadmill walking indoors. Sunlight, fresh air, nature, they all stimulate the senses and reduce stress. So if you felt foggy, slow, forgetful, don't sit there and wait for clarity. Walk your way back to it. In the next section, we'll explore a brain-boosting tool that people completely overlook, even though it may be more powerful than any puzzle or app. It's called human connection. And you'll see why next. You've probably been told to play puzzles, crosswords, or Sudoku to keep your brain sharp. And yes, mental games have benefits, but here's what they rarely tell you. Loneliness shrinks your brain faster than boredom ever will. In fact, studies show that chronic isolation increases the risk of cognitive decline by up to 60%. Why? Because your brain isn't just built for logic, it's built for connection. When you're in conversation, even a simple chat at the store, your brain juggles words, memory, tone, emotions, body language. It activates multiple areas at once. Language processing, emotional regulation, decision-making, and recall. That's more complex than any puzzle you'll ever solve on paper. And here's what else happens. When you feel heard, needed, and loved, your brain releases oxytocin and dopamine, 2 chemicals that strengthen memory and resilience. Compare that to isolation, which raises cortisol, the stress hormone that literally damages brain tissue over time. Here's the scary part. Social isolation after 65 is as damaging as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. That's not an exaggeration. That's science. But the good news, even small connections protect you. Call an old friend, join a local group, have lunch with someone once a week, volunteer. Even watching a grandchild play and being present activates parts of the brain most people let go dark. So yes, do puzzles, but don't forget to stay connected. Brain fog isn't just about age, it's about inflammation and what you're feeding your brain. Here's the truth. The average Western diet is full of foods that cloud your thinking. Sugar, processed oils, fried snacks, and refined carbs trigger inflammation that slows down mental speed, memory, and focus. But the good news, there's one simple eating shift that can reverse that fog, without strict dieting, supplements, or calorie counting. It's called the Mind Diet, a combination of the Mediterranean and DASH diets, designed specifically to reduce brain aging. Here's how it works. You focus on brain-fueling foods, including leafy greens, spinach, kale, collards, 6+ servings/week. Berries, especially blueberries and strawberries, 2+ servings/week. Nuts, handful a day. Fatty fish, salmon, sardines, mackerel, 1 to 2 times/week. Olive oil, your main cooking oil. Whole grains, beans, and legumes, for steady energy. A glass of red wine, optional, for circulation and relaxation. And you limit red meat, cheese, pastries and sweets, fried and fast food, butter and margarine. This isn't about restriction. It's about realignment, feeding your brain what it actually needs to stay clear, alert, and alive. And people who follow the mind diet closely, they reduce their risk of Alzheimer's by up to 53%, even with a family history. Those who follow it moderately, still a 35% reduction. That's massive. You don't need to overhaul your entire lifestyle overnight. Just make small swaps. Toast with avocado instead of butter, blueberries instead of muffins, olive oil instead of margarine, grilled salmon instead of red meat. Every bite you take is either feeding your brain or fogging it up. Let's get real for a moment. You can eat the right food, walk every morning, and sleep like a baby. But if you wake up without a sense of purpose, your brain knows it. Why? Because the brain isn't just a machine. It's a compass. And without a direction to point toward, even the sharpest mind starts to wander, weaken, and slow down. Purpose activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for planning, decision-making, and memory. When you feel useful, when you feel like you matter, your brain fires on all cylinders. In fact, studies show that seniors with a clear sense of daily purpose have better memory, stronger attention, and lower risk of dementia, regardless of their physical health. So what is purpose, really? It's not a job title. It's not a massive goal. It's something you define. Purpose can be teaching your grandchild how to cook, starting a small garden, writing your life story, helping a neighbor, calling someone who needs to hear your voice, getting involved in your community or faith group, learning something new just because you can. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to be meaningful to you. Purpose gives the brain a reason to stay alive, not just physically, but emotionally and mentally, because when you stop dreaming, you start declining. And the best part, it's never too late. Some of the world's most mentally sharp elders are the ones who keep setting goals, no matter their age. Neuroplasticity. It sounds complex, but it's your brain's superpower. It's the ability to adapt, rewire, and grow new connections, even after 65, 75, 85. But it only happens when you give your brain the right signals. And that's where daily rituals come in. Because the little things you do every day matter more than what you do once in a while. Here are 5 simple, brain-activating rituals you can start today. 1. The morning wake-up circuit. Before checking your phone or TV, spend 5 minutes doing this. Stretch your body. Drink a glass of water. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. Think of one thing you're grateful for. Set a small goal for the day. This routine sets the brain's focus, emotion, and energy tone for the next 12 hours. 2. The learn one thing rule. Each day, pick something new to learn. A word, a historical fact, a recipe, a tech skill. Your brain responds to curiosity like a muscle does to weight. Learning keeps your neurons firing. 3. Move every 90 minutes. Sitting too long reduces blood flow to the brain. Set a timer. Every 90 minutes, stand up and move, stretch, walk, do shoulder rolls. This one change can reduce brain fog dramatically. 4. Nighttime mental hygiene. Before bed, avoid screens. Instead, journal a few thoughts from the day. Reflect on something good. Dim the light. This signals your brain to relax and reset, and improves the quality of sleep and memory. 5. Talk to someone. A short daily conversation, even 5 minutes, lights up more parts of the brain than any app or game. It strengthens memory, emotion, and social function. Rituals don't have to be big. They just have to be consistent. Because over time, these small steps train your brain to stay sharp, flexible, and awake, regardless of your age. You've been told aging means decline, that memory loss is natural, that slowing down is part of the deal. But here's the truth no one tells you. Age doesn't decide how sharp your brain stays, your choices do. Right now, there are people in their 40s already feeling forgetful, foggy, and mentally drained. And there are others in their 80s, vibrant, focused, and learning new skills. So what's the difference? It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's daily intention. Choosing to move your body, choosing to eat for clarity instead of comfort, choosing to connect with others, to sleep, to stretch, to learn, to challenge your mind instead of letting it drift. Every one of those choices becomes a vote. A vote for the kind of brain you want to wake up with tomorrow, and the next day, and the next 10 years. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being deliberate. You don't need a prescription to protect your brain. You don't need to fear your future. You just need to decide that your brain is worth investing in, because it is. So when someone tells you, you're getting older, of course you're slowing down, you get to say, no, I'm not slowing down. I'm getting smarter, because now I know better, and now I choose better. If you've watched this far, you already know something most people don't, that your brain isn't slipping, it's waiting for movement, waiting for nourishment, waiting for purpose, waiting for you. The truth is, you don't need pills to stay mentally sharp after 65. You need to wake your brain up with small, powerful, consistent choices, because every day, you're writing the story of your next decade, and your brain, it's listening. So take a walk, make the call, eat the berries, ask the questions, learn something new, and above all, believe that it's not too late. You're not too old, you're not too far gone, you're not done growing, you are just getting started.